I'm back with more eBay packages. Over the past couple weeks, I've spent $1,221.64 on used computer parts from eBay. Let's open them up and see what we got. Last time I did this, I opened up 20 eBay packages and we had a couple broken parts. This time I only have 14 packages, but I do believe I have better deals. Let's just hope for the best. All right, let's get to unboxing. Starting out with 5 packages here. We'll open these up, test them out, and repeat that until all the packages are opened. I'm gonna start with this one here because I thought the name was funny. The guy that shipped it, his name is Glizzy Gobbler. Obviously a joke, but that made me laugh. Okay, we got some bubble wrap, some more bubble wrap. Okay, we like to see the good packaging. We got a motherboard here. It's an ASRock B450M ACR 2.0. So it comes with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. And we also got the I/O shield. I'm not seeing the Wi-Fi antennas anywhere, but maybe they're lost in this packaging. If not, I have some extra ones, and this was around $50 or $60. Not a bad first deal. Okay, we're gonna do this little package here, and I also wanna answer some questions from that last eBay unboxing video. There was a few people asking how I knew what old ladies smell like. Just don't worry about it. Okay, but being for real, there were a few questions just asking, why are you buying what looks like random computer parts? Well, if you're new here, then I flip computers for profit, so I buy random computer parts. So yeah, if you want to see what happens with all these parts, just follow along with my channel. I'll be flipping all these computer parts. Okay, but this little package looks like a CPU wrapped in one big thing of bubble wrap. I don't see any protective thing around those pins. Okay, so they did stab the pins into what looks like some styrofoam here. The Ryzen 5 3600. This should have been around $60. Let's check the pins. There's some ones that are not straight. The pins aren't bent to crap, but along the edges there are a few that aren't straight. All right, let's do this little package right here. Looks like we got another motherboard and an I/O shield. Okay, this is a Gigabyte A320M board. So it is a cheaper AM4 board. So the price should have been cheaper on it. The reason I got this, it's AM4, so it can handle literally almost every CPU. It doesn't matter if it's super cheap. I mean, this has an M.2 slot, 2 RAM slots, USB ports. I'm gonna open up this package. It's a pair of women's shoes. Well, hopefully it's computer parts and not women's shoes. Alrighty, we got a power supply. No power cord, which is unfortunate, but it's an EVGA 500B, which is 80 plus bronze, and this should do perfectly well, especially for a nice budget build. And if I did my deal hunting correctly, this power supply should have been around $25. Okay, last package out of the first 5. This is definitely the biggest one. So we got some paper towels, that's nice. A bunch of little anti-static bags. So these 3 anti-static bags was a pretty awesome combo deal on eBay with a CPU, RAM, and a graphics card. It was a Ryzen based CPU, so let's see what we have right here. I'll tell you what we do have, some bent pins, so that's freaking awesome. But we have a Ryzen 5 2600. And for the RAM, it's a Team Group kit, 2x8 gigabytes, clocked at 3000 megahertz. It's a little red kit, that'll look kind of nice in a build. And finally, the graphics card. We got an EVGA RTX 2070 Super, and this deal was around $200 for everything. I'm honestly kind of sad EVGA stopped making GPUs. Just look how clean it is. Like, it just looks awesome. Here's a close-up of that Ryzen 5 2600. I'm trying to show you the bent pins, but it's just not really picking it up on camera. They're honestly pretty bad though, and I have a feeling I might snap a couple of them off. So before even messing with the CPU, I'm gonna take pictures of it and try to get a partial refund from the seller. And here's that Ryzen 5 3600. The pins are bent right there, but they're not nearly as bad. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna test is the power supply. Just hooking it up to a power supply tester. This power supply simply tests for the voltages, and it gives you a little paper to make sure they're all in the optimal ranges. This one's good. Okay, now I'm testing this ASRock B450 and the Ryzen 5 3600. And crazy news, I didn't even bend these pins back. It just went in the socket. Like I said, they weren't even that bent, which is awesome. Okay, we might as well test that RTX 2070 Super. And we can test this RAM kit. Well, it just keeps doing this boot cycle, and it'll ramp all the fans up for a little bit, then it'll shut off and do it again. Either the RAM is bad or the motherboard is bad and it can't recognize any of the parts. What I'm going to try now is just clearing the CMOS battery and resetting the BIOS. CMOS battery isn't coming out, so I'm just jumping the pins to reset it. Okay, we're getting some signs of life, like a little blue light on the monitor, but it just will keep saying no signal. Going forward, I really want to get a dedicated open test bench so I can thoroughly test every used computer part I buy. That way I can kind of prevent myself from wasting money in the future. Yeah, I tried a different GPU and we got a post. So the B450 motherboard motherboard works, Ryzen 5 3600 works, and that 16GB kit of RAM. Still having that no signal issue with the RTX 2070 Super. Hope it's not broken. We will come back to this, so don't go anywhere. The last part to test is this B350 motherboard. Let's go, it's working. Good news, it's working. I have it running this Heaven benchmark. It is hitting 82C, so it might need a repaste, but at least it's working. Even more good news, I found the antennas for this motherboard. All right, got our second round of packages. These are all boxes, so hopefully we have some pretty good stuff. We'll start with the smallest one, which is right here. Okay, some nice pink like bubble wrap packaging. Looks like we got an order slip here. I'd rather just open up and see what we have. My guess is either a kit of RAM or a CPU. Oh, it is a CPU. Let's go, baby. We got some protective packaging. This is a Ryzen 5 5600X. This is a very nice 6-core 12-threaded processor. Let's check the pins. They look good. What do you guys think? And I'm pretty sure this was around $60, but I can't remember off the top of my head. All right, this was the second smallest package. I think this is another CPU. This is a Ryzen 5 3600 instead of a 5600X. So this one, when I bought it, they said it was untested. It was a pretty cheap price. The reason I bought it is because I noticed it was still sealed, so it should work, right? I guess we'll have to wait till we test it out and see if an unopened Ryzen 5 3600 still works. Third smallest package out of that bunch. Jeez, lots of bubble wrap. Okay, so we got a graphics card, but what the hell is that thing? Well, this is a 3070 Ti, and this is an extra heatsink that the seller added. I'm guessing the memory runs hot. It hasn't been opened up yet though, so maybe we can just repaste it and take off this ugly thing. Definitely going to run some tests on this though. But this 3070 Ti, I think was around $220, which is a steal for a 3070 Ti, as long as it doesn't have actual issues. All right, we got a motherboard. This is a nice ratio, right? Okay, so we got a B550M Pro 4. Okay, looks brand new, geez. Got our manual, got the disc. I don't even know why they still give these in motherboard boxes. We got our IO shield, some SATA cables, M.2 screws. And here's the board. Looks really clean. Definitely not brand new. I do see some dust. But this will look really good in like a white build. And it was an awesome price as well. Still have the M.2 heatsink. Nice rear I.O. Okay, we got our biggest package of that bunch. As I said in the beginning of the video, I thought I had better deals than the last time I made an eBay video. But what do you guys think? I personally think we definitely do have better deals so far. And better packaging. Okay, we got an I.O. shield, so I'm gonna guess this is the motherboard. No anti-static bag, but at least it's covered in bubble wrap. Okay, so this isn't just a motherboard. This is actually a motherboard CPU RAM combo. It looks like we got an Asus Prime B450MA, 16GB kit of RAM, and the CPU, I'm pretty sure it's a Ryzen 5 if I remember correctly from the listing. All right, let's just start by testing this out, I guess. We already got a full test bench. Okay, right now I'm hooking up an 850 watt power supply to this motherboard. I'm also going to slot in this very thick 3070 Ti just so we can test two birds with one stone. Hopefully it all works. All right, moment of truth. I have a power button hooked up. Fans are spinning. Looks like we're gonna get a post right away. And no signal. That's perfect. My guess is this 3070 Ti works, but the motherboard isn't recognizing it. Let's try a different GPU. Okay, I'm slotting in a GTX 1070. Let's go, we get a post, and I see that the processor is Ryzen 5 2600. We got 16 gigs of DDR4. So yeah, my guess, that 3070 works. The BIOS probably just needs to be updated on this motherboard. Okay, I have the B550 on a test bench, testing that Ryzen 5 5600X. And we got a single stick of RAM. I tried getting the 3070 Ti on here, but the heatsink keeps hitting the RAM slots. But hey, we get a post. Now let's test this Ryzen 5 3600 that is still brand new, sealed in the box. Oh, I totally just cut the box. There it is. We even get the little sticker. Let's go and check the pins. Well, they look good to me. It definitely looks like a new Ryzen 5. It has that nice shine to it. In the slot it goes. Let's go, baby, we get a post. Okay, since the 3070 Ti won't fit in the top slot, let's go and try it in this bottom slot, and hopefully we get a post. No signal. Okay, I don't know if it's because it's the bottom PCIe slot or the motherboard isn't supporting it or the graphics card is broken. I just want to know why the seller even put this here. If there is actually temperature issues, they should have said that in the description, because it's just a big old ugly heatsink. It's in the way of a lot of RAM slots, and it's like, that thing's on there. When I want to take it off, I'm probably gonna have to use a heat gun just to heat up the thermal pads or whatever is holding it on there. I hope he didn't glue it on there. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I want a dedicated open test bench. Well, this will have to do for now. I hooked up the 3070 Ti to this spare computer and it's working. Since this is a functioning computer, it already has games installed on it, so I'm gonna run more tests on this 3070 Ti to ensure it's actually running properly and check the temperatures. Okay, I have that 3070 Ti here. I'm just running some tests. It's been running this Heaven benchmark for about 20 minutes. Here are the temperatures, steady at around like 75 degrees. That's actually really good. Now I have it running a Cyberpunk benchmark at 1440p with the ray tracing medium preset. There's those temperatures. They're about the same as when it was running the Heaven benchmark. A little bit cooler actually. Got this big ugly heatsink off. It actually wasn't too hard. I just had to use this little pry tool. Unfortunately, I did scratch it a little bit, but it's all right. I just hope it doesn't overheat now. Well, I got some great news. It's basically running at the same exact temperatures. There we go. Yeah, this thing was useless. I got our last 4 packages, and I also have this bonus one. I just didn't mention it because I didn't buy it from eBay. All right, I guess we'll just start with this tiny one. Well, there is a CPU in my hand. Another Ryzen 5 5600X, but this one has no protection. As you see, the pins were literally just touching my fingers. Let's check them out though. All right, there is some bent ones. There is some bent ones. They're more bent towards the edges, but we'll get this fixed. But first I'm gonna take some pictures and message the seller. Every time I get bent pins, even if the CPU works, I always try for a partial refund because this isn't what I bought. Let's go. Got a GTX 1660. At least that's what the box is. That's what it appears to be. Yep, we got a 1660 from Zotac, their twin fan model. Last time I bought this same exact model on my Facebook Marketplace, it was around $40. This wasn't a great deal like that, but still around $70 or $80. This box got a little ripped when I was taking off the label, so let's just start there. It appears to be another GPU, a 1660 Super. There we go, 1660 Super. This is an MSI Gaming X version. Fun fact, this was the first brand new GPU that I ever bought for myself. And it was around $300 at Best Buy. Luckily, this one was not nearly as much on eBay. All right, last package, then I'll open up that bonus one. Is this gonna be another graphics card? It is, and oh my goodness. Ugh, that one's dirty. Oh, that one's disgusting. But we got another 1660. I'll have to get some close-up B-roll shots of this, but that thing's nasty. Hopefully it was a good price. Okay, now for the bonus one. And this one really made me laugh because the label is literally the size of the box. All right, bunch of packing peanuts, my favorite. Not really though. I got the item in my hand. Now, as I said, this wasn't bought on eBay. It was actually bought on Java. And we got another motherboard. Looks to be in pretty good condition. Asus Prime A520, and we got the IO shield. Okay, I'm testing the 1660 Super on the A520 board. And as you can see, that is working. And this twin fan model from Zotac is working. Okay, the last one to test is actually the very dirty 1660. Let's just hope it works. It's working, but we're not out of the blue. Let's bend these pins back. Okay, I'm breaking out my handy dandy little magnifying glass tool, and it even has a light. I bought this in the last eBay unboxing video because we had a lot of bent pins specifically on one CPU, and this helps a ton. Well, until you get a smudge on it. Alrighty, wish me luck. Okay, let's see if it fits. I think it's in. Let's go, baby, first try. But does it actually work? There's the monitor behind us. Okay, it's getting hot, so it's not like dead or anything. That's good news. Hey, big W. Big W and big mess. Yep, So I spent a little over $1,200. Was it all worth it though? Well, like I said, I flip PCs, so you're just gonna have to follow along on my channel to see what happens and if I make any profit. Drop your thoughts down below, and if you enjoyed this video, go and smash that like button, subscribe if you loved it, and go and click here and watch that first eBay unboxing video I did where I opened up 20 packages.